Hello, hello, Yaara. How are you today?
Hello. Good, pumped, feeling
Okay,
energetic.
that's good. That's good. So we are here today, as usual, on Tuesday, on our weekly live, that we are talking real talk, real sister talk about real life.
hmm
So if it's your first time, welcome. Let's introduce ourselves. Yaara, would you like to start?
So, my name is Yaara Elia. I am a spiritual healer. I guide women to be their own self healer and to go through in a journey of healing inner war into inner peace. So, I teach inner peacemaking, and I am also Rakefet's younger sister. So, Rakefet, tell us, who are you?
Well, I'm Rakefet Aria Becca Moses, a very long name, yes. Spiritual leader and the founder of Barakat Community. I talk a lot about and to understand why we're really here. And well, we're here together now, working together, you and I, Yara, my sister and I. This community, we are the co-founder of this community, Life Bloom Community.
Life Bloom.
And yeah, Yara,
Life
just say
Bloom
a
is
few
a
words. Yeah.
Yeah, Life Bloom is a community for real women going through real life with the ups, with the downs, and choosing to grow through life and also choosing to grow together. And we really, really believe that there is a lot of power in going through things together because we see that as sisters, right? That there's always someone there to pick you up, always someone there to help you reflect and to remember that life has different areas, different topics, you have different tools to work with. And we just know that when you do it together, you do it so much better and so much more just, it's more fun, I guess, also.
Yes, and
So,
also we need to support and to understand each other better as women that really juggling life. So this is why lifelong community is very important for all of us, for all women that really go through life together. So first of all, I see that Anya is joining us. So good evening, Anya, and I see more people are joining us, and it's good. Just write your name, say hello. It's great to see you joining us, and also share this live now so
mhm.
people join us and see and ask questions during the live. Obviously, if you're watching the recording, so write your comments, write your questions. We will answer them, even if you'll see it later. So
Yeah,
today we chose a very
a
very important.
topic.
Yeah, why
Yeah,
is it
trusting
so hard
yourself.
to trust ourselves? Yeah. And I think we should start by saying that it's not something that is always difficult to us. I mean, there are people that it's difficult to them a lot, but some of us are struggling in different times of, different times and different situations. And maybe we'll start by talking about that. Why and
Mhm.
when is it so difficult
Mhm.
for us to
There are
cope?
also people that don't feel that struggle, there you see people that it's just kind of an easy thing for them to do, but I think it's important to say it's a muscle. It's a
Yeah.
skill, right? So when you look at people and you say, oh, they always know what to do, it's easy for them to make decisions and they always trust themselves, then know that they went through a long path of listening to themselves and strengthening that skill. And that's why you look at them now and you say, oh, it's easy for them. So we're going to work through that skill now together, right? We'll talk about that a bit.
Yeah, and we're going to give you practical tools about so to help you trust yourself and to find a way to not only trust yourself but actually act with this trust and know how to use trusting yourself in your daily life and in making also big decisions because it's
Mm,
very very important. So let's start by talking about the situations when is this difficult for you, and you can share with us, write to us in the comments. When is the times that you have noticed that are difficult for you to trust yourself, to make a decision? And we'll start by telling from our experience, from our life. I think one of the situations that is difficult for me to make a decision and to trust my decision is actually when I need to decide something that's going to reflect on other people in my life, like
mm,
maybe changing an apartment, where I live, maybe changing the job. And if I hear a lot of opinions of people that I love and I care about, and they think
mhm,
different from me, it really makes me feel uncomfortable. And also, I can't decide because even if I know what I want, which we don't always know, and we'll get to it later, I'm scared because it's going to reflect and it's going to affect other people in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's more about the inner conversation between the parts within myself, because we sometimes want things that are not always, they're not always one, we can want multiple things, and they can like, what's the word for that,
Yeah,
they do that. Yeah. So and sometimes, and I feel that this is a moment that I'm in my life right now, when I want two different things. And so I do have an inner voice, and I listen to that inner voice, but I know that parts of me have different opinions. So like you said, maybe there are different opinions from people around us, and maybe you have different opinions inside us, and we don't know which one of them is the right one, which one of them to trust. Also,
maybe
if
even the dream, like the dream, the ideal thought that I want this way to be. I want this situation to work out this way, but I'm not sure if I'm able to do it. And I'm not always sure even if it's the right decision for me. I mean, sometimes I saw someone else live the life this way, and I think, okay, this is amazing. I wish I was that person that will be happy to live this way, but I'm not sure if it's me. And if it's not me, then saying, okay, it's not who I am. Sometimes we feel disappointed about, thinking that, well, I wish I was, but I'm not. It's just not who I am.
It can also be your past dreams, your past expectations from the person that you once were, and you still have this kind of dream of, this is the way I will live my life, but now you're changed. You've gone through things in life, and you're someone new now, and you need to kind of readjust those expectations to match who you are now. And that's a hard thing to do, because it's a new voice in you that you need to accept and to say yes to.
Yes, definitely. And we talked before about different opinions that people that we care about. And I think that if we look in a relationship, it's even more important, and it's even more difficult for us if our partner doesn't agree and doesn't think like we do to decide something, because then we kind of need to convince them that we are right, or even we might even confuse us because we're not even sure yet what we think about that. And then
even if it's not a decision that is about our joint life, it's about a personal decision, but someone that is very close to us. And I think for me, a partner is one of the closest that it could be. Their voice, the closer they are, the more their opinion can confuse us, right?
And we also appreciate their thoughts. We also we appreciate the way, maybe the things they're going through life. It can be, like our older sisters. We are 4 sisters, and we are we have 2 older sisters, and sometimes they can advise us, and I love them and I appreciate them, and I saw so many things in life that they have achieved, and I am proud of them, and I want to achieve them too. And sometimes they advise me things that I say, but wait, this is not my perspective about life. This is not how I see life. And it's very confusing that people I admire, they advise me something that's very different from the way I look at things.
Yeah. It can really cause you to question yourself, and more so if you're not like feeling secure in your opinion. And I think it's also kind of when you go out to ask for advice, right? When you're not feeling secure, when it's difficult for you to stand that this is what I want. It could be a trigger for you to go out and look for the answers somewhere else. But it can also help you see, okay, if this is not feeling right in my body, then maybe it's actually because I'm not resonating with that. So also going on the negative can show you, this is not what I really want. This is not what I truly feel right about. But we spoke earlier also about
times.
The emotional space,
About times.
Times in life. What do you mean by times?
Different times in life. I think that I think it's when we discuss about trusting ourselves, there are times that we are not balanced, and something in our life is just not. We cannot be in a routine, and we don't have our anchors, and then it can be all kind of, situations in life. And I think that if I look at my life, I think that when I'm not on my routine, it's more difficult for me to listen. Okay. And it can be a holiday, it can be a summer vacation, it can be someone coming to visit, it can be a war.
Small or big, yeah.
COVID.
It could be small things, big things. It could be happy things, and it could be. We also spoke about hormones. We have
Yeah.
even during our cycle as women, we have the cycle, and throughout the months, our hormones really change. And even during that short period of the month, you could have different, interactions, different feelings with yourself, and that could truly be very, very powerful. And I know that for me, I have a 1-year-old, and so for me, the time of after giving birth, the postpartum, and it was a very long time for me. It took me a really long time to feel connected back to myself. And so this is a big change in life. Of course, having a baby is a big change. It's not summer vacation, like a month and a half, and it's gone. But it could be big changes or small changes, anything that kind of makes the ground unstable.
Yeah.
And your inner link, your regular listening to your body, your regular listening to your emotion, like everything kind of shifts, and you need to come back to that balance.
I think that when we talk about trusting ourselves, why is it so hard for us to trust ourselves? There are two phases. Like the first phase is being able to listen, to really hear what we want, what we need, what is our way, what is our perspective, what is the things that are important to us that we want to make the decision by. And this is the first phase. And if I'm able to listen, which is good, and we'll talk about it in a few moments, you will give us also a practical tool and practice how to listen. If I'm able to listen, that's amazing. But then the second phase is, what am I going to do with what I just found? I mean, okay, I know what I want, but how am I going to do it? And I need to trust myself then for the second time to decide that I'm going to go through what I decided, even though people around me might not think the same.
So I think there are 3 steps actually. You said 2, and you actually said it when we just started the live. I wrote to myself 3 steps because it pops in my head, and then you said 2.
Okay.
But I want to add another one. I think the first one is to be able to listen, to recognize, to even hear that inner voice, right? Because for some people, and we'll talk about it in a moment, for some people, their voice has been silenced for so long that they're not even able to hear it.
Yeah.
So that's step number 1. That's recognize and hear. And then step number 2 is trust it and say yes to it. Not fight it. Not try to say, no, that's wrong. Maybe someone else knows. Say yes to it. Internalize it. Allow it to be present in your body. And then step number 3 is take action.
Okay.
You can be a really long time inside with that feeling. I am now in my moment in life right now. I've been saying yes to something inside me for a long time, but I still haven't felt like I have the energy, the strength, the power to take action.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of that.
Yes. Okay. You're right. So there are 3 steps then. Well, I think that's so we should start from the first one. How we
before
reconnect.
that. Yeah, before that, we spoke about the times in life that it's hard for us to listen. We spoke about making decisions and having other people's opinions, but I also talked about, my internal world. And I think that that's also a very big part of why people are struggling to listen to themselves. It's not just when making decisions, or it's just that the inner world is not connected enough. The listening muscle is not always there. I'm going back to the inner child and I have a lot of videos about the inner child in our channel.
Yeah.
And also a really, really good inner child meditation that is going live in a few days. So it's like I was crying while I was giving the meditation. While I was recording it, I was crying.
And also the workbook. So yeah, if you need to do work with your inner child, you have a lot you can use in our channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Life Community channel.
Yeah. So with the inner child, I think the 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 part of trusting yourself, if in your childhood there was some kind of disconnect with your inner voice, maybe someone told you that you were wrong, maybe someone told you not to listen to your inner voice, maybe you were silenced in some way, and if when I'm saying these words something inside you feels like ugh, kind of this discomfort in the body, then know that this is your body telling you, yes, I need to look into that. In some way, if you were silenced, you silenced yourself because you were afraid or because you had to confide to other people's needs, or if someone else told you that you can't listen to yourself, then maybe
You can't trust yourself.
you can't trust yourself. Maybe you can't listen, or maybe you can't trust. So maybe there was a disconnect with your inner voice. And then it's not just about, saying yes to it, but it's actually learning to listen again.
It's just thought about something as a parent. Sometimes we tell our kids, because I know what's right for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking now about it. I mean, when I say it, I don't mean that he's wrong or she's wrong. I have four. So I don't mean that they don't know what is right for them. I just mean, like, I'm the adult, so I understand better, and I'm the mother, so I decide. And it's usually because I don't want to fight and I don't want to start explaining myself. I just don't have the
You want
time
to
for
make
that.
it easy.
Yeah, I decide. Okay, I'm the parent. I decide. I know it's good for you, and I've learned with time, especially my third child, Harel, which is my boy. He always tells me, so explain to me why I think this is better for me than what I think. And then I find myself that I need to discuss the situation with him. And then he say, okay. And he's so smart because he always tells me, I listen to you. Now I'm going to explain my opinion about it. And then we discuss it and he explained his opinion. And sometimes, and it happened to me a few times with him, that I said, you know what? You're right. I was wrong. You're right. This is better. And we're gonna go with what you decided and what you think. And I support his decision. And every time that it happens to me, it happens already like I think 4 or 5 times, that I've changed my mind after discussing with him about the solution, that I was sure that my solution as parent is the right solution, and he offered a different one, something that I didn't think about, or something that I thought it won't be right at the time. But then he said, no, but listen, this is going to help me feel like that, and then I'll be calm to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
I found myself thinking, okay, that's amazing. And not saying to him, I know better than you, is something very important for me. I tell it to myself as a parent,
Yeah.
not to say that, because then I kind of, say to him, you don't know, you don't understand, don't trust your inner voice. And maybe to find a different saying to him, like, what is your inner voice telling you? And let's talk about what I think and what you
Mm-hmm.
think, and find a solution
Yeah.
together. Maybe it's a
You could
better.
you could also say, I mean, I want to hear your inner voice, and let me tell you my inner voice, because I also have my thoughts, and kind of mirroring that, you both can come up with things within yourself, and both, like, it will make you feel one way, it will make you feel the other way. And that's amazing. He's such a smart boy. He always has these pearls of wisdom.
Yes, yes, he teach me so much. All of them, all kids are really a very good school for life.
Yeah.
But when they're so small and they say such pearls and such amazing things, that makes you stop and think, okay, he's almost 8 and he knows better than me, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with all the
If you
things
just
I've
let
been
him.
through in life, I kind of decided this is the way it should be. And he's
Yeah.
telling me there's another option, and I'm open to listen to it. And then it really makes me go through a growing phase with myself to see that there are other options. It also helps me reflect back to me about my options that I have for myself. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's very, very smart. Yeah, it's great
Mm-hmm.
talking. Um, so where were we? I think we were
3
talking about
steps.
the steps. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we're there.
I mean, that
Okay.
we were we were saying, let's start walking through the three steps, which was number one is reconnecting, listening to yourself, learning to recognize your inner voice. Number two was trust, rebuild trust. Number three was take action.
Okay, so I think first of all, how do you feel? How do you know that you're not connected? Okay, if it's the first step, how do you know that you're not connected? You're not listening, and I think it feels like it's obvious, but then sometimes it's kind of slippery. First of all, I feel confused. I don't feel my inner peace. I feel like trying, I think about two things that I can do. One of them is like trying to run away and not to want to think about it, and using my phone more, and like watching all kind of videos, and just
masking your
exactly, just don't want to think about it, don't want to make a decision. And we know that not making a decision, it's actually a decision that's saying no to something, and we already decided in a certain way. We don't want to decide, but it's kind of making a decision already. And I can think this is one behavior that I do, but the other one is that I go and I consult with everyone, and I talk to a lot of people and ask them what they think. And sometimes I'm even going to choose the people that are going to say what I want to hear, because
or the opposite.
The opposite? No, I want to hear that. I want them to give me the right feedback, so I'll be able to trust myself again.
But sometimes
it's gonna think different than you.
No, but you remember what we spoke about, that you have a friend, a very close friend, that you know that she's gonna tell you something that's different from what you think, but you know that by her telling you something that is the opposite from what you think, it's gonna strengthen your position.
Yeah.
Yes, help you feel stronger. So in some way, it's also what you want to hear, but it will help you achieve the goal of strengthening what you want. So we said we can avoid doing making the decision or thinking about it, or we can overthink about it, right? I think with these things, it's always the extreme. If you go to one extreme, then you know, okay, there's something here I need to work through. I'd say that another way you know that you're having difficulty listening to your voice, to your inner voice, is kind of a little bit of numbness, like just in general, not feeling deeply, kind of feeling things shallow. You know what I mean? And I think also in general, if you're the type of person that is struggling to speak up, struggling to say your opinion, struggling to have a firm opinion, and when you know that you have a firm opinion, then you feel like you shouldn't say it, you're not allowed to say it, it's not safe to say it. These kind of emotions would show me that there is a difficulty to listen to the inner voice.
Definitely. And also I feel that I can't find when I can't find my inner peace, when I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about it, and other people talking to me about something different, and I really can't concentrate. I mean, it's something's all the time in my thoughts. It means that I just struggle listening.
I think I want to make a little split, because I think that what you're saying now is not about struggling to listen, it's about struggling to trust. Because you do know, you hear, but you don't want to say yes to it, and that's why it's haunting.
The next step.
Yes, it's the next step. That's why it's haunting you, because it's kind of like on your shoulder. Listen to me, listen, and you don't want to listen. You try to avoid. But when you
I like the horses, that you put here, they cannot look. No.
And they're like yelling at you from both sides, So this is not wanting to trust, not saying yes to it. But when you don't listen, it's more like, what's going on, right? Like I can't express it. Can't find the words to say it. That's how I see it. It's different for everybody else, but that's how I feel it.
I think we need to practice. Do you have a practice? Yeah. To listen.
We're talking about the first step.
For the first step, yeah.
The first step, and that is to listen. And I feel for me, the door to listening is always through the body. So for me, when I had a time in my life where I felt very disconnected. And the first tool that was easiest for me to practice to listen to my inner voice was small questions and listening to what my body says about it. So for example, do I want to eat a cookie or do I want to eat a banana? And I look at the cookie and I feel in my body, what does my body say yes to? What does it say no to? Maybe it says yes in a different way. What does it feel like in my body? There's no right or wrong. It's not like the cookie is not healthy, the banana is healthy. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a sensation in the body. How does it move within my body? Because the thing is, with our inner voice, they tell us, like, it tells a story. It's not a yes or no inner voice, right? It's always just listening to the movement in my body. So what do I want to wear today? We also have a video about that, right? What do I want to wear today? How does my clothes affect my emotions? So you look at this shirt, what does it move within me? What does it make me feel? Does it make me feel strong? Does it make me feel more like, a hippie? What does it make me feel? How does it move in my body? And when I say, what does it make me feel? It's not about words, it's sensations within my body. So you can do that throughout your day on different things. What do I want to eat? What do I want to wear? Do I want to speak to this person? Or do I not want to speak to this person? Okay. It doesn't have to be huge decisions. It's just small things. And that's a door.
I think what you just said is very, very important. So I'm going to say that again. In order to practice listening to our inner child, to our inner voice, we need to practice on small things, because on big decisions, it's more difficult for us to listen. If we practice on small things during our daily life, and just like you said, how does it make me feel? What my body want to say yes to? And how does it feel, really feel, not what I think about it. If we practice that on a daily life in small things like our clothes, what we want to eat, do we want to wake up now? Do we want to go to exercise now? What we really want, not what we need to, what we have to, what other people tell us it's important to do. If we practice that on small things, on the big decisions, it's going to be easier for us.
So I'm going to tell you now 3 or maybe 4 guided questions. Like Kefin is going to type them and you can take a screenshot so that you can ask yourself that throughout a day. Okay. So question number 1 is, where do I feel it in my body? Okay. Question number 2 is,
wait. Where do I feel it in my body?
Yeah.
Okay.
Question number 2.
Wait. Okay. Take a
This is question
screenshot.
number 1. Take a screenshot.
In my body. Yeah.
Question number 2 is, does it have a movement or does it have a color? Does it have a movement or a color? And you can really feel into it. It could be like this cloudy thing, it's like a really dense and dark. It could be really airy, like a fog. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's just about really learning to listen to it. Okay. And question number 3 is, if it could say something, what would it say? One sentence, one word. If it could say something to me, what would it say? And again, it doesn't have to be wear this shirt. It could be also or just
What?
I don't know, a random word. If it could say something, what would this sensation in the body say? So these are your 3 questions. Where do I feel it in the body? Does it have a movement? Does it have a color? And if it could say something to me, what would it be?
Okay.
So these are an exercise to tap back to listening to yourself, listening to your body, recognizing your own inner voice.
Amazing. Good. I love it. I love these questions. Yeah. Thank you. You're so smart, my sister.
Thank you. So are you.
You know what? I want to also give some tools that I think that I use a lot when I need to listen to my inner body, to my inner voice, and to go back inside. So maybe it's the next phase, like you said, the second steps.
Which
I
you're
think,
really good at, by the way. It is a strength. I think I'm really good with the listening. You're really good with the trusting. So we're adding on to like our strength.
yeah, I know. I think first of all, is that I say, like, I'm putting aside all the I need to, I have to, because when I already know what I listen, I know what is the right decision for me. But now all the thoughts are starting, and all the people around me, I start hearing their voices and their thoughts and their, what they think is right for me. And I've been in this, I think I've been in this situation many times in life, because I usually do something that other people tells me I shouldn't do. It happens to me a lot, right? You've been with me in my life. So
Yeah.
what I do is I put aside all the I should, I have to, and I tell myself, this is what they think. I just say that. I say it out loud. This is what they think is right for me, but I'm different. And I say it. I think this is what they think. All that should and have to and all of this, those words, I just say, okay, this is what they think. And then I kind of put, my hands on my heart, and I say, what makes me feel quiet inside? And when I say what other people think I should do, or what, I have to, and this is the way, this is the right way, all the things that, like, people, say, this is it, and that's it. And when I say these words, and I say this sentence, like, I do it already. Okay. So I say, like, I have to breastfeed, for instance, because for me it was very difficult, and I was struggling with breastfeeding for a lot of weeks, that. And when I said it to myself, I have to breastfeed, I just felt immediately how my body hates this thought, and how much I struggle even to breathe, and there was no quiet in there. And when I said I don't have to breastfeed, okay,
Quiet.
that it wasn't quiet just yet, because I had a lot of guilt there at that time. Now I don't, but when my first girl was born, which actually today is her birthday, our 14th birthday. And when she was born, I felt a lot of guilt, because I really wanted to breastfeed, and I thought it would be amazing. I really thought it would be amazing in it. And it didn't work. And when I said I don't have to, all of a sudden I felt like my shoulders are relaxed, and I didn't feel the struggle in me. But then I said, it will be okay if you will not breastfeed. And I started feeling again like I can breathe just a little bit more, just a little bit more. And I started saying, you have an amazing daughter, and you will be an amazing mom, loving her, even though you will not breastfeed. And I said that, and it felt okay, and it felt good, and it felt like I could believe in it. And when I started feeling, the tears in my eyes, I understood that this is what I really wanted. Like, I really wanted someone else to tell me these exact words, and saying it to myself, hearing that, saying it out loud, holding
Out
my
loud.
heart. Yeah, out loud. I really had to hear them, and saying it out loud, and hearing myself, and feeling how my heart and my body reacted immediately, because the tears, in my eyes, and I felt, finally, I can breathe. And I kept saying the same sentence again. You're an amazing mother. You're going to give her so much love, although you're not going to breastfeed. And you have an amazing baby, and you're an amazing mom. And I said it again and again and again and again. And I think, especially when our decisions, we need to trust our inner voice, because our decisions are going to affect other people in our life. This is when we have to speak to ourselves and tell ourselves that we're doing the best that we can at that same moment. And if what I feel inside is the right decision for me, I will trust myself, and I'm going to take the action with it. I'm going to be a happier person, and all the people in my life will be affected by it, because if I'll not be where I should be, and I'll be frustrated and I'll be unhappy and I'll be angry, the people around me will be affected from it as well. No one wants an angry mom, really.
As a mom, this is one of like the strongest truths as a mother, because if a mom is unhappy and is frustrated and is just always walking around with guilt, and like who's going to suffer most? Of course she will suffer, but her family will suffer most. So I
Yeah.
think with all of the topics in life, in motherhood, this is probably one of the places where this is most important and most visible, that if you don't do the things that are right inside you, it's going to eat
Mhm.
up to your life, to the people that you love.
And there's so many different opinions about so many things, taking shots at breastfeeding and when to give them the first
Kindergarten.
taste, yeah, everything, and going to kindergarten, everything. There's so many different thoughts, and homeschooling, and I think in every corner, every day, there's a decision to make, and that you're gonna hear like hundreds of different opinions about, and you just need to say, this is my way, and this
Yeah.
way is the right way for me as a mother. It reminds me that one day, when my big daughter was going to the first grade, we went to see an open school, school that they can
Mm.
choose to go into classes or not. And I remember that we've been there in the meeting, and they were explaining the method, and I said, how would I know that it fits my daughter? And the teacher said, it fits all kids. The question is, it fits the parents.
Mm-hmm.
I said, she's right.
Mm-hmm.
She's right.
Am
This is,
I?
am I the parents that
Yeah.
this way fits to do
Mm-hmm.
what I think? To give myself that kind of freedom, is that what I believe is the best for my daughter? And some will say yes, and others will say no, and some will say maybe something in the middle. But I
Mm-hmm.
remember that she said that, and it started showing me different perspective about being a parent in general. That when someone tells me their way, I need to ask myself, is that the kind of parent I am? Is that the
Yeah.
perspective that I want to look in my life? And is that the way I want to show my kids this is the way to live? It's not, there's no right or wrong answers. And this is one of the most important things that I've learned through life and through being a parent, that there is no right and wrong question answers. When we need to decide something and we listen to our inner voice, this is what our inner child needs. And
Exactly.
yeah, and you can say yes to it and you can say no to it. It's what you decide at this moment. And tomorrow you might decide something different. But at this moment, if you listen and you know, and you can decide, you can still decide different. Yeah, you can still
Mm-hmm.
decide opposites, even if you know. But knowing that you have listened and you know what your inner child needs, your inner voice is asking you, and then make the decision, it helps. It helps us
Mm-hmm.
see a different perspective about who we are. And then today I
Mm-hmm.
might decide one thing, and tomorrow I might say to myself, you know what? No, I do want to give my inner voice what they need, my
Yeah.
inner child.
There's so much while you were talking, so many things coming up to my mind. First of all,
Yeah.
I loved what you said about saying it to yourself out loud, saying the different perspectives. I must breastfeed. What does it say about me? I'm a good mother, whether I breastfeed or whether or not. Hearing it out loud is so important. And I'm gonna do that. Every time we do this live, I go out with like exercises and I start practicing. Um, you too after that. um, I'm gonna do that after we finish, because I'm now in this position with myself regarding putting my son in Kita. I live in Berlin, so Kita is kindergarten, and it's something that I'm really struggling with, because I have this image of myself as a stay-at-home mom, and I'm gonna be with my baby, and I'm gonna da 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 da. This image of the past self, the one that I wanted to be, and now maybe I'm different. As we talked about in the beginning, I changed, and maybe this image of myself is not relevant anymore, or maybe it's relevant in a little bit of a different shape. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to talk to myself in the mirror, these different perspectives, and see how that feels. And I think that actually maybe leads us to the next step, which is taking action. Or is there anything else? Do you want to stay on the trust a bit longer?
No, I think taking action, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to help me take the action now that I know, I trust, and I need to go to the next step?
Yeah. It's also kind of like, the easy one, because if you know and you trust, then just do it. Hmm?
But still, you said before, you feel you're stuck between the two, so it's not the easy one.
And that's why I think there is guilt.
Yeah.
There's guilt. There is it's sometimes difficult to let go.
And there's
Self-judgment.
also, we might be afraid of this phase, because then that's the time that when we take action, that there's going to be a result to what we have decided. I mean, it's the change is happening.
Coming.
Until I decide, and until I take the action, it's like the phase that everything is okay. Yeah, we're
Comfort
not
zone.
out. Okay,
Yeah.
everything's fine. And when we decide and we cut, we say, okay, that's it. I decided I'm going to do it. And we go the next day, we do it.
Yeah.
There's starting to be, the results, the things that happen that we feel, okay, someone is going to be affected by it, even if it's myself. My life is going to change. My family is going to react to it. What is going to be the reaction? And then we have to deal with the reaction.
Now there's movement. Now there's real movement towards something new.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think the first thing I do, because I'm the kind of person that just need to take the bandage off. I decided
slow.
I can't bear it. Seriously, even in bandage, I can't bear it. I need to take it off. It really hurts.
No, I do it so slow when I take off a bandage. I'm like, tiny
it's funny that we're so similar and so different at the same time. So I take it off really fast. And the reason that I take it off really fast is that I want to go to the next step. I've decided, sometimes I make a decision in the middle of the night and I just wake up. I stay awake until the morning so I can do this. Okay, so I can take the action. I can't fall asleep because I already decided. So make sure not to make a decision in the middle of the night. It's just a waste of night. Okay, in the morning. But then I'm
awake anyway.
Yes, because we have babies. Me too. So when I want to decide something, I decided, I trusted, I listened, I trusted. Now I want to take the action. What I do is I visualize it. I really love visualization. Yeah, I love it. And then when I visualize it, it makes me feel so much more happier and more confident. And I just imagine, how does it feel? I check. I also use it to check what is best for me, what is the right decision. So I can visualize one option and also the next one.
How does it feel? And now you're using the tools of connecting to my body, because how does it feel is inside your body. How does it feel if I go in this path to the future? How does it feel if I go in this path? Choices.
Yeah. So this is one of the tools that we can use in order to decide. But also in the first phase, like to listen to our inner voice. But now on the phase that we're now in, this step that I need to take the action, I use this tool in order to feel confident and also to manifest. Okay, because this is one of the most important tools to manifest what we want. But I use this tool to listen to what my body wants, and then I celebrate it. So I imagine, like, if we think about moving to a new place, and we made a very big move in my life with my kids and my family, from something that everyone told us that we are crazy because we used to live close to my family and we had a lot of help there, and then we just moved to the north, very, very far from everyone, without any help around us. And everyone told me, you're crazy, you have little kids, your mom is helping you, your father is helping you, you're so close to your sisters, are you crazy? And I said, I feel that this is the right decision. And then when we moved to the north, and before we moved to the north, I used to just imagine how would it feel. And I felt so happy about it. And I celebrated it. And I just imagined going with my kids to the pool, which is something that I do every day now, and going to community holidays and things like that, and to have a lot of friends that my kids can walk to and go in their bikes. And I will be, I feel calm because it's not like they're in the city. And I remember using that tool, visualization, and it's really made me feel happier and safe, and make me feel so much more confident with my
Mhm.
decision. And then when I woke up, I said, I have to act now. Now, now I have to take action now
Mhm.
before I
To
regret it.
move towards there.
This is why I take off the bandage, because I don't want to regret it,
Mm-hmm.
and to second guess myself and not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just decide and I do it immediately. And if I'm struggling with doing it, what I do is I remind myself there were other times in life that I was struggling with taking the action, but when I did, the result was good. And
Mm-hmm.
then makes me feel like I'm on my safe zone again. You've listened to yourself before. It didn't make any sense to everyone else, but look what came out of it. You're where you want to be.
Yeah, you said the word safe. And
Yeah.
I feel that this is a very important word because what you're talking about now, visualization goes into the future. You were
Mhm.
saying, I know what I want, I'm going there. But sometimes you know what you want. You said yes, okay, you allowed it to be present in your life, this want, this desire, but the fear. So sometimes, at least for me, looking into the future and saying, this is going to be amazing, I want to run there, it's not enough because for me, I sometimes need to feel that it's going to be safe for me to go there, that I can trust myself to take the right steps on the way. So for me, again, in this space where I need to take action, I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to go back to my inner child. I'm going to in a meditation with my inner child. I'm going to give her a big hug and I'm going to tell her, you can trust me because I'm a grown woman. I'm smart. I'm capable. I know how to make right decisions. I am your ground of safety. That's what I'm going to say to my inner child. I am your ground of safety. So it doesn't matter if this is going to roll out this way or if it's going to roll out that way or if it's going to be like I imagine it or in a different way. I am your ground of safety. So I'm going to go back to the child within me and make her feel so safe that she knows that it doesn't matter what life will throw at us and what will eventually the outcome will be. She's safe right here. This is enough for me to feel safe, to feel loved, to feel, you know, that for me, that safety is crucial to take the steps. So I
Mhm.
love it. We're so always going like in different directions. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna head straight. And I'm like, let me go back there. Yeah.
When you were talking now, I thought about something. It sounds like it's contradicting what you said, but it's
No,
really not.
it's not.
No, no.
It's
What
just
I'm going to say now, because
ah,
sometimes I need to feel safe, but sometimes I need to feel excited. Sometimes when I go to do something that I never did before, like I remember the first time that I flew, abroad alone with myself, I remember that it scared me so much that the only thing that I could do is to tell myself, you're gonna find there amazing things that you don't even imagine. You're gonna find new things about yourself. You're gonna see new sights. You're gonna be amazed from what you see. And I remember that I was so curious that again I couldn't sleep. That's an issue for me, not sleeping when I'm so excited about something. I was so excited, so curious about what I'm gonna find out about myself, what I'm gonna find out about life, and what I'm gonna see, and new things that I'm gonna learn. That I kind of put the need to feel safe aside. And it's funny
mm,
because I really need to feel safe. And I didn't find myself go to that place saying, well, you can trust yourself. I kind of knew that. At the same time, I really needed the excitement.
mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking to the queen of traveling alone, at least
I know. I know. I know. I know.
somewhat. Yeah. And I also, because I traveled alone a lot, and I don't know, I mean, that I hitchhiked
I know.
across Europe. And for me, even then, when I was hitchhiking and in Europe alone, my guide was my belly. I told
Yeah.
myself every time you before you go to a car, you look into the eyes of the driver and you listen to your body. Your belly will instantly know yes or no. Yes, go on the car. No, goodbye. Just walk away. That was my safety. That was my ground of safety. I
Mm-hmm.
still needed to feel safe, but I had a very instant tool that my body would tell me if it's safe or not, period.
Yeah.
And I trust it. And I don't,
Intuition.
if my body says no, there's not even another question. It's a no.
Yeah. Yeah. You were listening to our intuition. Yeah, it's one of the most important tools. We use it. We use it all the time. I think, but because we are so used to, you and I, so used to use it, so it's something that we know how to do. But this is why we're doing this live, because not a lot of people know how to listen to their intuition and to
Mm.
their inner voice. Yeah. So I think that before, well, we're only 15 minutes, yeah, in this live, so we have like 10 more minutes. I think before we'll finish our live, I think we should like give them more tools.
Tools.
Yeah, more tools. Um, more tools.
There's
Yeah.
one thing that we haven't spoke about, which I mean, we talk about it a lot generally in our content, but I think wherever you are in this process, if you're in step one, step two, step three, always coming back to your anchors, your daily
Yeah.
routine, your healthy eating, your movement, your meditation, your journaling, whatever it is that you have as your anchors. This is going to be a big part of coming back to your balance and listening to yourself, because that's where you find your center.
Yeah, and
So
I
wherever you
think
are.
it also in times like we said before that there is no routine, like when you're on a holiday and you don't have your time for yourself, maybe find even one anchor, something, one thing that will make you feel good. And if you need to like change it, if you used to have your time alone and write down things in your notebook and journaling, if you don't have the time for that, so go for a walk for even 10 minutes or just sit outside the porch or something and take your phone and write down notes to yourself or record something and find a way, find one anchor, one.
A tiny
Don't
one.
need
Like,
to
say
take
it to
time.
yourself in the mirror while you brush your teeth. Look into your eyes and say these words to yourself. It could take two
Yeah,
minutes, but it will
yeah.
change something within you.
Don't let go of everything. I mean, don't say, okay, I can't do it. I'm on vacation. There are people
Hmm.
here. There's a war. Don't throw it all away. Find one anchor that you can do, something that knows, find the one that really works for you. I can
Yeah.
tell you that for me during the war, I really hold on to music. Seriously, I used to hear, I just walked through the house with my ear sets, and I used to hear music all day long, just all day long, hearing songs, things that makes me feel good, and letting myself just said, okay, I don't want to hear the news. I don't want to hear other people talking about the war. I can't hold anymore. I can't do that. So I just had to, I couldn't, when I was like, when my mind was quiet, it wasn't quiet. It was with thoughts of fear,
Mm.
feeling confident and feeling confused and feeling frustrated by the situation. So I had to listen to something else. And I used music. And it's something that we can all use. All of us have phones, just put on some music and or write down what you feel or cry or go for a small walk or just breathe. Like, just put your hands on your heart and breathe. Feel yourself, touch your body, know that you are there
Hug
for yourself.
yourself.
Hug yourself. Give yourself one anchor, one,
Hmm.
because at times that, well, there is no routine and that we have that all the time, even if they're good times, it's confusing and it really makes it more difficult for us to listen.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want, before I finish, I really want to ask the people that are gonna watch this live, write down to us. Okay, where do you find it difficult for yourself to listen to yourself and to trust yourself? And write in a comment also one that you take from this live that you're gonna
Hmm.
use, one tool or one thing that really touched you, and write it down to us, share with us.
Yeah.
And also, very important, if there's anyone in your life that you know that this live is going to help to listen to, just share it with them. Send it to
Hmm.
them and say, write to them, I love you. Please listen to this live. It's going to help you. It's going to give you a lot.
Hmm.
And
I'm also going to invite you to subscribe to our channel because we have so much content on different topics, all of them about just your growth and your self-development journey and your healing. And that's why we're here. We're here to do this together as a community. So subscribe to our channel, come and say hi in the comments. And we're very happy that you've joined us today, in the future, wherever you're watching this.
Yes. And remember, trusting is a muscle. You just need to practice. It's not that you have it or not. It's something that you can practice and you can work on. You can really work on trusting yourself. And with time, it grows. It grows and you trust yourself. It's easier to make decisions. It's easier to act on your decisions. And
it's easier to listen to yourself.
To listen. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Yaara. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for being here with us today. We love you very much. And we'll see you in the next video, the next live.
Bye.